In this video, I'm going to show you how I pack my pack with a bear canister. I've done 3 trips out west in the last few years, one to Yosemite, the other on the John Muir Trail, and then just this past year I did the Tahoe Rim Trail. And I think I have a pretty good system down for how I pack my pack, so I am going to share that with you. So the first thing I do is grab my pack, and I put a trash bag in there. Keep everything inside my pack dry. Once I have my trash bag in there, the first piece of gear I put in is my sleeping bag. I do this without the stuff sack because I want the sleeping bag to kind of fill and expand the space. And once I get the sleeping bag in there, the pack can pretty much stand up on its own. So next thing after the sleeping bag that I put in is my air mat. I try to get this towards the bottom front of my pack. So I'll put it right in front of my sleeping bag, right down at the bottom. And then I put my air mat inflator right on top of that. So as soon as I get my tent all set up, I can grab my mat and inflate it right away. I hate having to blow it up after a long day on the trail, so I do bring the inflator, and it's worth the wait for me. Next thing is the down jacket or your insulating layer. And again, I put that right in front of my sleeping bag. And again, it kind of allows everything to fill out so I fully use all the space in my pack. And then for the back side of my sleeping bag, I'll take my clothes bag. It's a heavier item, so I like to have it kind of at my back. And I just kind of push it down in there with my sleeping bag. And then I do the same thing with my technology bag and accessories, so like phone chargers, cords, headlamps, um, any medical type supplies, things like that. And I will put it pretty much right on top of my clothes. After that, I will seal up this garbage bag, so just pretty much stuff it inside there, making sure no water can get in the top, because that's pretty much everything that needs to stay dry. And then from there is where the bear canister comes in. So a lot of people kind of fully fill up their pack and then put the canister on the outside or on the top like this. That seems to work for a lot of people. For me, it just feels really top heavy and just out of balance compared to how my pack usually feels. So what I'll do is I'll put it in next vertically. In this pack, I haven't really been able to get it to fit horizontally, but vertically has worked just fine. So I'll get it in there and just kind of push it down. And then I will take my rain jacket. And sometimes if it's like open, I'll kind of just stuff it around um, the bear box. But otherwise, I'll try to get it in front so it kind of pushes all my food back against my body. And then I will put my stakes in just on a little crack of space here from the bear canister, since it doesn't fully expand and fill everything out. And last thing for inside my pack is my tent. At the end of the day, I will, get to camp, and the first thing I'm going to set up is my tent. So for me, as far as weight and just priority of what I need on top, the tent makes the most sense. Push all that down and seal up my pack. once I get these locked in here, I will take my maps and I put those right on top. A lot of times I'll put them in like a Ziploc plastic bag just in case it rains, and just slip that right up on top here. I really don't use my paper maps very often because I use the Cut Hook app right on my phone. Still good to have just in case of an emergency if you have some sort of technology failure. And then for these sides on the outside, put one smart water bottle here, one here, and then my filter and dirty water bag just on the side here, so those are easy to access while I'm on trail. And usually I'll have uh, a, a third bottle here, just like a shorter one for my bidet water. And then I will cinch these front straps. And that is it. I still have these two hip belt pockets. A lot of times I'll put like my buff in there, a couple snacks, anything that I'm going to be kind of using and want easy access to. And the same for here. I'll usually put my sun hat or anything, like if I started out wearing my rain jacket or something like that, and it gets too warm, then I'll just kind of stuff it away on this outside pocket. One thing I like to do in the mornings is I'll fill up a Ziploc bag with pretty much everything that I plan to eat that day, minus the stuff I put in my hip hop pocket. And once I kind of eat all that stuff, I can just easily go in and grab stuff from the Ziploc. There's always a little bit of extra space here, so right in front of my tent, I just keep that bag, and that's kind of my daily allotment of food. If I do need to get into the bear canister, it's just a matter of taking the tent out and just usually I can unscrew right in the pack and reach right in there from there. Another thing for me is I don't like to have anything like kind of hanging off the side. But I know a lot of people will kind of attach things down here up on top or just wherever, and it kind of throws off my center weight of balance. I try really hard to get all the heavy items along my back and anything that's lighter and just kind of taking up space in front here. But other than that, that is how I packed my pack with the bear canister.